Welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. First, I want to give a shout out to Pedro and Mike for new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Getting more subscribers. Tell your friends about this program. I hope you're enjoying these episodes. We're going to do a episode on Malbec, and the reason for that is I've seen a huge fall in Malbec sales, and I'm not exactly sure why. I know I have my theories on this. One of them is that I think they flooded the market with cheap Malbec, and people just got sick of it. Kind of like back in the day when Australia used to be really strong, really raging, and then all of a sudden it fell to the ground because I think everybody got tired of the cheap Shiraz that was out there. And it also affected Syrah sales because us wine guys and girls all told everybody, no, Shiraz is Syrah, and we got everybody learning that, and then all of a sudden Shiraz hit the ground, and boom, so did Syrah. Syrah's coming back though, and there's a few Australian wines that do well. But Malbec suffers just a little bit, and I'm curious as to why, and I'd like your opinion on that, if you could make a comment. Do you drink Malbec now? Have you had it in the past and just kind of got tired of it? I mean, why are sales lagging these days? I'm not sure why. They used Malbec a lot when I did my song class back in the day. They used Malbec. They love Malbec. I love Malbec. But one of the things I think Malbec suffers too, and I've written an article about this, is I think it suffers the vanilla ice cream syndrome, meaning that a lot of the Malbecs taste the same. So I'm always seeking out Malbec that is different or shows complexity and isn't that vanilla ice cream variety. I have a few favorites myself, so if you're in my area, if you're one of my homies and you want to know what my favorites are, come to the store and I'll show you. I carry none of these at the store. That could change, you never know. Okay? So Mendoza is the workhorse of Argentina. It is kind of in the middle on the Andes Mountain, the spine of the Andes Mountain. Most of their 75% of the vines grown in Argentina are from Mendoza. That's huge. That's gigantic. It's in a perfect spot up against the Andes Mountain. Has a rain shadow, so it doesn't get a lot of rain. Gets a lot of sunshine. The snow melt from the Andes gives it plenty of water. Perfect growing conditions for vines. And the quality, because of the elevation, as we know, like Red Mountain in Columbia Valley, there's 5 sub-appellations in Mendoza itself. There's 13 in Argentina. In Argentina, the Choa in the south and Jujuy in the north. Sorry about that. Now, Salta actually is below Jujuy, and it kind of curves up and goes a little further north. And Salta is famous for Trantes, which is the real famous white grape of Argentina. Although they do quite a bit of, they do some Sauvignon Blanc and some Chardonnay there, but Trantes is their grape, really. You won't find Trantes anywhere but Argentina. Chowat. Yeah, that's a hard one. Chowat in the south, it's spelled like Chobat or Chubat, but it's Chowat. Okay, so we're going to examine 4 Malbec, and the first one is the El Cypress Malbec from Mendoza, Argentina, 2017. Rolls in at $10. So, that's another thing about Malbec, is you can find some pretty decent Malbec for cheap. Sometimes, not always. Alright, let's see what we get on the nose. Good color on this one. They are known to be very dark wines. And they can be, you get up in the upper scale, the upper tier, pretty amazing Malbecs. But a lot of people don't like to spend, you can spend $100 on a Malbec. And boy, let me tell you, it's very interesting to me because people are more than willing to spend, not more than willing, but especially people with a lot of discretionary income, will spend $50 to $100 on a Napa Cab. And some of these Malbec from Argentina in those price ranges, Catania does one called Sabata, which is amazing. Let's see what we get on the nose with the El Cypress. A lot of blackberry. That's the main part of this wine. Blackberry with a touch of black plum and a little bit of licorice. Get a little vanilla component coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Nice bright acidity, good blackberry notes, chalky tannins. I get a little bit of red flower component. The vanilla barely hits on the backside, but it's there. And I get a little bit of spice action on this as well. Nice, easy to drink, but good acidity, making it good for food. This would be a great pizza red, let me tell you, or hamburgers. It'd be awesome. Lasagna, perfect. I mean, I like the spiciness on the back of this. This is a very, very interesting Malbec. It does not suffer the vanilla ice cream syndrome. No, I'm liking it. Now, if you're into fruit bombs, you like more fruit forward wines, you may not like this wine. But I like it for the fact that it is a great food wine. You pair this with pizza or hamburgers or lasagna or meatloaf or whatever you like to eat in that kind of category, you're going to love this wine. It's a perfect match. I love the spiciness on the back end. I'm going to go C plus B minus on that. $10, that's a good play. Let's move on. 2018. I always have a hard time with this winery. Nieto Senator. Camila Malbec, Mendoza, Argentina. This rolls in at $11. Again, really inexpensive. That's why a lot of people like Malbec. We still sell some at the store. There's certain brands that are just consistently popular. But overall, definitely, I remember a day when we couldn't keep Malbec on the shelf. I'd stack it on the floor just so we could have enough of it. I showed you the label, yes. Again, good color on these. This is very common for Malbec. They're very dark. This is very dark, almost blackish red, blackish purple. Very clear in the glass. Let's see what we get on those. This leans a lot towards plum. Get a little tobacco underneath. And almost like a wilted rose petal, like a dark rose petal. Let's see what we get on the palate. Not super excited about this wine. This is, again, a vanilla ice cream syndrome. Very plain, very basic. I get some of that plum notes coming through, chalky tannins as well. But this is just kind of across the board, just simple. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of complexity. There's not things that juxtapose against each other. Like this one had good acidity with some other things. This is just kind of there. And a lot of people like that. I think back in the day, I think Malbec was really popular because it was like Wendy's or McDonald's. You knew what you're going to get. But I think as people progress in their knowledge of wine and their experiences in wine, they start getting tired of that same old thing. Now, there are people that buy the same thing every day. They drink the same thing every day. I have a hard time with that because, well, the industry I'm in. I taste all kinds of things. And if that's the way you are, that's fine. That's okay. But I do encourage you to stretch out a little bit. Try something different. You may be surprised. You may find something that you actually like better than the one that you've been drinking all day. Yeah, nothing there. It's okay. I mean, it's good. It's got some acidity to it. But you put this with food, it might just bury it. Not really excited about that one at all. I'm going to go C minus on that. I mean, it's only $11. I know you won't. I guarantee you won't, feel like you wasted your money. But it's really, you can do better than that for $11 from Argentina. Let's move on. This is the. Where are you at? 2013. A little bit older. Alma de los Andes, Malbec, Mendoza, Argentina. It has a little sticker on here that says 91 points, wine enthusiast. $12. Okay. So, we've had one vanilla, one non-vanilla. That's the terminology I'm going to use right now. Again, I think you're going to see the same thing in every one of these wines. Really, really dark color, really good color. These guys will stain your teeth and give you that clown lip action. That's pretty dark, darker than the rest. I'm almost getting kind of a currant plum thing. Get a little dried bark action. Tobacco. A little vanilla coming through as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. I think it was interesting, I forgot to mention this on the Camila, it was a 12.5% alcohol, which is low alcohol. Some of you guys, Alan, Dick, you would like that. But I think you want a little bit more complexity. These roll in, this is at 14%, which you kind of expect, you know. High altitude could knock down the alcohol a little bit, but they get a lot of sunshine. In fact, the only thing they really have to worry about, they have a wind, I can't remember, Zuba or Zora or something like that comes through. That affects the vines, kind of can mess them up. They have a problem with hail. That's their big thing in Mendoza and all along Argentina. Yeah, plum notes, big time. Blackberry underneath, I get that a little bit as well. You get a splash of currants. Let's see what we get on the palate. A lot more going on with this one than the Camila, or Camilla. Pretty deep on the palate. You get good fruit, but good acidity at the same time. That's a cool thing about high altitude, is you can keep that acid going. Even though the fruit ripens, the acidity stays there, which is really cool about Malbec. And that's one of the things you need to remember. Malbec is a food wine. I think a lot of people look for those kind of juicy Malbecs in the cheap range that, you know, you could drink solo. Well, these are made for food, obviously. This would be great with a steak, just saying. So let's start talking about what I'm tasting. Getting too excited there. Plum, blackberry, touch of currants underneath, good acidity, gives it that kind of pop in the mouth. Nice structured tannins that are balanced. You can drink it. You could drink this solo, but this would be so good with the same kind of foods I'm talking about. This would go well with a grilled steak, a little blue cheese on it. Just saying, this would be fantastic. Has nice wilted red flower notes on it. Just a touch of kind of a barely a little bit of green underneath, but hardly noticeable. Most of you might not notice that. Nice long finish. Tobacco kind of joins up on the back end. I like this wine a lot. I think it's a good, structured, solid Malbec. 12 bucks. I think this is one that you could really get into and enjoy. I'm going to go B+ on that wine. Very good. Let's move on to the last one. This is the Zorzal Grand Reserva Grand Terroir Malbec, Tupungato Valley, Mendoza, Argentina. Now, Tupungato, this is the first one that we tried. This rolls in at $16, a little bit more serious. Tupungato Valley is part of the Uco Valley sub-appellation in Mendoza, and it is on the base of the Tupungato volcano, which is one of the highest peaks in Argentina. So Tupungato volcano, base of that, Uco Valley, Tupungato Valley in the Uco Valley of Argentina. I showed you the label, $16. Let me show you again just in case I forgot. I'm moving right along here, so excuse me if I missed something. Very, this is almost black. Okay, guys, this is the darkest of the bunch. $16. Now remember, there's Malbec that goes for 50 to 100. So 16 bucks is a good play, price-wise. Just saying. Oh, this is way more intense. I almost get like a deep plum notes. I mean, like deep with a big splash of ripe blackberries. A little bit of black tea as well. It's very interesting. Let's see what we get on the palate. Smooth, baby. This is smooth wine. Just saying. Intensely smooth. Lots of plum and blackberry notes beam through this wine. And again, the acid is there, which I really like about Malbec. You get that acidity because of the high altitude. I complained a little bit about this one being one-dimensional. This needs to breathe a little bit longer. I've had these open for a while, but certainly haven't decanted them. Has a nice lift in the back, on the backside. I got to quit talking. I can't talk before I swallow them. On the backside, you get that tobacco element. Again, the acidity is there. Almost comes across as a little bit of a citrus thing component that comes through. Long finish on this one. This is just like, this reminds me of one of those smooth Napa cabs or a Merlot. And I always compare Malbec, kind of a cross between cab and Merlot, just a little bit. There's an interesting kind of earth note there underneath. Gives it a nice balance, gives it complexity. I like this wine a lot. It's $16. I would, these top are both B+ wines. This might, yeah, both B+. Actually, I think the value is right here, but this is a solid wine. This one will age as well. This is what I like about this one. Okay, so right now it's a, what did I say it was? A 2014. You got 10 years easy. So you could take $16 wine, tuck 3 away, just let them sit in your cellar for a few years, and this will develop nicely. I think so. B+, hedging towards A-, B+, solid values. And don't forget, please give me some input as to why you think Malbec has kind of tanked a little bit in the past 5 years, why sales are soft. How do you feel about Malbec? Do you have a favorite Malbec that you can share with the group? I'd appreciate your input. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day to watch. I really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really enjoy doing these, and I hope I can get a lot of support for the Stan the Wine Man TV. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.